What's up, YouTube? What's up to my Boxing and Bullish Nation, my B&B gang? Welcome to another episode of Boxing and Bullish. I'm your host, Dev the Smoke, and today we're going to launch a new segment. It's called I Told Y'all. Check it out. I told y'all ass again. My last episode of Boxing and Bullish, I did my breakdown on Abdullah Mason and Albert Bell. And I gave my prediction. And I'd be damned if it didn't come out just like I said it would. The only difference was that Albert Bell made it a much closer fight in the beginning through rounds 1 through 5. Check it out. It's going to be a slow fight. It's going to be a slow fight. Here's why. This and it was for the first 5 rounds. It was
Albert
slow,
Bell
but Albert Bell was controlling the fight.
Doesn't have the power.
He was definitely controlling the fight for the first 5 rounds.
He's going to move. He's going to use the ring. He's going to use his jab.
He was using his slickness for sure.
Use the angles. He's going to. Abdullah Mason is going to be chasing.
He wasn't moving as much as I thought he was early on.
Especially with Albert Bell taking.
But he did start moving once Abdullah Mason had to start chasing him around. This is exactly what I knew was going to happen.
Abdullah Mason is going to beat him up.
And he
He's
did.
going to have to chase him around.
Later in the fight, was throwing a 2-1.
He doesn't. He just lands so frequently.
But he don't have no power.
He's going.
This was just as I knew.
Is too skilled.
He don't have the power to keep Abdullah off of him.
Chasing, using his angles,
and he chased him all around the ring.
Much more
from
aggressive,
6
effective
to the last round.
Because that's how Abdullah Mason fights. And I think
he beat Albert Bell up.
And I'm talking maybe over the course of 9 or 10 rounds, that could stop Albert Bell. That could get the stoppage.
It did. Body work. What did I say?
Exceptional body work. He didn't have a full count.
All of that played in the factor.
That's the first thing.
You could tell.
And so what I
second
feel
half of the fight, you could tell the 10-day notice, all of that.
Mason
it played a factor.
Probably.
Albert Bell is definitely a sharp fighter.
He doesn't have
hell of a sharp fighter, but he don't have enough power.
So I believe that what's going to happen is that Abdullah Mason is going to chase him around.
He did. Second half of the fight, that's exactly what was happening.
Beat him up, get him on the ropes, beat him up, go to the body. Could eventually stop him. My take on it, I think Abdullah Mason takes it either by a late TKO or a unanimous decision.
Bingo.
Round 1.
From round 1, the game plan was already in effect to go to the body. And we saw round 1, right off the rip, Mason was going to the body. At this point in the fight, Bell was controlling. He was catching him with the right hand. He was controlling Mason. By the 3rd or 4th round, Mason was going to have to stalk Bell around. This is the second half of the fight, going into the 6th, 7th round. This is when things change. This is when you start to see, you can see now the rhythm is a little different. Now you're starting to see Abdullah kind of stalking him around the ring. And he's giving him damage as he does so. So this is what I was talking about though. You can see now he's walking him around, walking him down around the ring. Is where all of a sudden you can see the momentum was shifting. Now you see, it's round 8. This is where the momentum all of a sudden changed. It was just a gradual process of walking him down until he was really out of it. And Mason just looked. As you can see, he just stalking. And this happened for the whole second half of the fight. From round 6, I would say, to the final rounds. All through 7 and 8, this is where he started beating him. The body work. By this time, Mason had already looked the body. What did I say? The body was going to be the key. Now he busted up. Exactly what I said. He's going to beat him up. He's going to have to walk him around. The body work was going to be the key. Mason got exceptional body work. And that's exactly what's happening. Now what I didn't think was going to happen was this. Bop, 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 bop. Dropped it.
burst from Abdullah Mason out of the
and now he busted up.
He's just going to try and survive the round. Chris Mannix has the challenger up by a point. Another left on the temple and he goes down.
That wasn't no knockdown.
Should be a knockdown, guys. And they're stopping
They stopped the fight right there. So just to be clear, I was not in agreement with that stoppage. I didn't even think that was a legit knockdown. I thought that he pushed him down more so. That's going to go ahead and bring us into round 2. Check it out.
Round 2.
Round 2. I told y'all that a change is coming, and it's going to be spearheaded by Turki Al-Sheikh, by Dana White, by Nick Khan, by DAZN, by Ring Magazine. I told y'all that we need a commissioner. We need regulations. And a league is going to bring those things. Check it out. And I think what you're going to see in the future, down the road, years down the road, we're going to see boxing league regulated with a board of regulator, people who like a commissioner. You're going to see a Roger Goodell of boxing. And I hope it's not Dana White. Can appoint a commissioner. Somebody who regulates this, who they go and they look at the tape. They go and they look at the fight. Was that a fair stoppage? Was that judge, should he be judging fights anymore? And guess who's already in line to be that guy? Nick Khan. Check it out.
At his meeting with everybody, with Matchroom, Queensberry, with Nick Khan. And I know a few of you guys are like, where's Dana White? Nick Khan is perfect for His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh to bring into this meeting to have them and us and everybody meet. So a boxing league being this answer of having one title, less divisions, with 8 divisions. There's no cherry picking. There's no ducking. Due to it being a boxing league, they dictate who you fight next.
Times written by a Hall of Fame boxing writer named Steve Springer that talked about the corruption between the WBC at the time and Don King. The Crawford-Canelo fight, that was for the 4 different super middleweight sanctioning body belts. Terrence Crawford won the fight by unanimous decision. The WBC then stripped him of that title for refusing to pay a $300,000 fee for the honor of having that belt. It would be like if Major League Baseball went to the Dodgers after they beat the Blue Jays and said, no, we're going to take this title away from you because you didn't pay us money. That's what it's akin to.
All right. I told y'all, Nick Khan, he's going to be the commissioner of the boxing league when that boxing league actually gets going. Mark my words. All right, we're going to move on to round 3. Check it out.
Round 3.
Now, in round 2, I talked about how a league might bring changes as far as the judging, as far as the corruption. So for round 3, I'm just going to give you a quick look at what I was talking about and why we need to change. Check it out.
Well, he went down from the punch. The punch.
Palacios bending down, aiming for the body. See right there, that's a knockdown, guys. He touched the body, he ricocheted off the top of the head. There's no controversy here. That should have been a knockdown.
Sergio was right. That was a knockdown. Hit him off the back of his head. Shushu was dipping. He dipped into it. And if he would have just hit him, punched him in the back of his head, that's an illegal punch. But Shushu dipped into that punch, and it clipped him off the back of his head, and he went down, and that's a legit knockdown. And it would not have affected the outcome of the whole fight because Shushu dominated the fight. But that particular thing should have been called a knockdown, and that's what we need changes for. That's what I think a league will bring change for. They'll have things like instant replay for bad calls. Harvey Dock, it would have been different if he said this was an illegal punch to the back of the head, so that's why he didn't call it a knockdown. Harvey Dock didn't say that. Harvey Dock called it a slip. That makes it a referee bad call. And those things need to be reversed. Just like in the NBA, in the NFL, we need the same thing in boxing, and I think a league will bring those changes. Let's move on to example number 2.
Pull off the upset, or did 20-1 favorite Scooter Davis do enough to get the nod?
Ramos won this fight.
Sergio, what's your gut telling you right now?
Ramos won the
Look,
fight.
either it's a draw or I think Ramos might have squeezed this one out, but I don't see Scooter Davis pulling this one off. He gave too many early rounds, in my opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. We have a unanimous decision.
Watch this.
Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Omar Mintun, scores about 77 to 75. Judges Morley and Rogers both scored about 78 to 74. All three in favor of the winner. And still undefeated, Derek Scooter Davis.
This is what I'm talking about. Exactly, gang. This is exactly why I am for change. This is exactly why I'm for a boxing league. Because we need a change in things like this. In the judging, just to try to push a new fighter that you feel is going to be a superstar. In the superstardom, you cheat the other guy who honestly won the fight. Put in the work and won the fight, and you cheat that guy so you could push the new superstar. We need a change. And I'm hoping that a league comes along and makes those changes. That's my take. Thank you for tuning in, Boxing and Bullish Nation. Remember, subscribe, like, comment, share. I am your host, Dev the Smoke, and we're going to be back with another one.